When it comes to locking and finishing the choke, it's important again to know what our main goals are that we want to immediately get to. Okay, for this, a lot of the hand fighting, arm trapping, all these things that I'm trying to do, it's just to get my choking hand through to where my opponent's shoulder is. Okay, if you can get it deeper, perfect. If you can get it the whole way around the neck, perfect. Okay, but if I can get my hand penetrated through enough to where it gets to at least my opponent's shoulder, I should win the exchange and I should get the submission. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're a blue belt and the person you're going against is a black belt world champion. If you get this far and you do the rest right, you should be able to get the finish almost every time. Okay, it's important to just get that goal clear when we begin with, so that all the different hand fighting that you'll be doing and the different techniques you'll be using is just to get to this point. Okay, we'll go through next what to do after I get here, but it's just important that we're aware of this up front. So once you achieve your goal of getting your choking arm through to at least the shoulder, now it's time to go into locking and finishing the choke. So once I get my arm through to at least the shoulder, I'm going to need to use my fingers to latch on. Okay, I never want to get the whole way through and then my opponent can just reach up and pull my hand away. It might have taken a lot of effort to get there. So as soon as I reach through, ideally I'll dig my fingers into this bone behind, like the back of his clavicle here. Dig your fingers in and keep your fingers very strong. Even now when he pulls down, as long as I don't open my hand and let go, I should be able to hold on to this. Okay? From there, I take my other hand out and start to bring it behind the head. Again, don't look for the bicep. This is going to give him a chance to grab your arm, grab your choking arm, and now he can undo everything. Okay, so first things first, my hand starts to come behind the head. Okay, so I give a slight bit of movement with my head. Okay, so I have space to reach in. I start to reach in behind his head towards my far shoulder. And as I go there, I lift up my hand towards this shoulder. Okay, so you can see it's a shoulder to shoulder grip more than a bicep to bicep grip. Okay, when I focus on the bicep, there's a lot of space. So once I achieve my goal, getting my hand through to the neck, okay, take my control arm out, start to come behind the head looking for my shoulder, and lift my hand up to the other shoulder. And when you go to squeeze the choke, it's any choke, to be honest, you always want to squeeze slowly. There's a thing called isometric ramping, and it's basically where you start off squeezing 10% of the choke, build up to 20 to 30 to 40. So you get a higher peak force that way and you can sustain it for longer. Okay, and don't forget, his resistance is going to be going down over time. So if you start off squeezing 100%, by the time his resistance runs out, your choke will be less powerful. So always when I lock the choke, I want to build up my squeeze slowly by bringing my elbows together and then down towards my core. Okay, as I do this, I lean forward and just crunch my body into a ball. Okay, and you can see it gets tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter every second until he either goes unconscious or he has to tap. Okay, reach through, lock, and again, go into a ball. So I'm folding him in as I slowly build up my squeeze, bringing my elbows in together and then down into my core. Okay, and you should have a really strong squeeze here. It's important to do the squeeze properly, especially later on when we get into some of the more difficult finishes over the jaw or when my positioning is slightly off.